Get ready for The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's dedicated update show. Events, businesses, and people. Anything and anyone causing a ripple in the community. And now, let's dive in to The Splash Live.
Hello and welcome back to The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. It's your stories from your hometown on your community media 5 days a week on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm Tyler Kieft alongside Dayan Chaaban. We thank you as always for joining us today on Comcast Channel 15 and on AT&T Channel 99. In addition, you can always find us, as well as all of our other original programming, including municipal meetings and other special broadcasts, on our website, civiccentertv.com. You can also find us for updates and our live shows every single day on our Facebook page at Civic Center TV 15. Give us a like and follow us on Facebook for all the updates in your feed every single day. Plus, you can also join us live and on demand and find all of our programming dating back a number of years on our YouTube channel at Civic Center TV. Plus, find us on the road with you on the radio on 89.3 Lakes FM. Not just our live shows on the Splash Live, but all of our Civic Center TV original programming all day, every day, live simulcast 24/7 on 89.3 Lakes FM. Dayan, a little bit of a break expected today, especially earlier on from the sunny and warm weather that we've had throughout this week, but the sunshine's coming back and it's going to stay throughout the weekend.
It is going to be a beautiful weekend, but as you said, Tyler, the sun will give us a little break. Today we're expecting highs of 57 degrees and lows of 27 degrees. Mostly cloudy skies, throughout the morning, and chances of rain earlier today until through the afternoon and into the evening. But as we go into Saturday, it's going to be clear and sunny for both Saturday and Sunday, with highs of 48 degrees for Saturday and lows of 31 degrees. And for Sunday, partly cloudy skies in the morning, but then it's mostly clear and sunny with highs of 47 degrees and lows of 34 degrees on Sunday.
It's going to be a beautiful weekend in the greater West Bloomfield area, but Saturday, perfect for some West Bloomfield Laker football, and Sunday for Lions football, especially if you're going downtown to Detroit to enjoy the Lions against the Chicago Bears on Sunday. Going to be a beautiful weekend after what's been a fantastic week weather-wise in the greater West Bloomfield community. Some news making headlines across the community. Earlier this week, the West Bloomfield Police Department and neighboring departments, as well as the Michigan State Police, partnered with Mothers Against Drunk Driving for a very special event to advocate against drinking and driving. We'll give you some visuals from that and tell you about that event coming up in just a little bit. As we get ready for that colder weather to come back into play the rest of this fall and into the winter season, the West Bloomfield Fire Department recently posting some helpful safety tips for preparing your fireplace this season and beyond. Of course, the West Bloomfield Lakers continue their football season this Saturday and hopefully get themselves one more week of football as they go up against the Southfield A&T Warriors at 1 o'clock on Saturday at Troy High School. We'll give you all the details on that game, including where you can catch our broadcast of Laker football coming up in just a little bit. Plus, a really heartwarming story out of the West Bloomfield School District and Oakland Early College, as students at Oakland Early College befriend Roosevelt Elementary School students with special letters. We'll tell you that story in a little bit. Later on in our show, we'll be joined by West Bloomfield Deputy Police Chief Curt Lawson, who has a very special announcement about his future with the department and in law enforcement. Plus, the Orchard Mall invites you to shop local on Small Business Saturday. We'll tell you about some of the different shops you can enjoy as you go shopping local during Thanksgiving weekend for the holiday season. Plus, the West Bloomfield School District is once again seeking community input on spending, particularly for grant spending. We'll tell you when and where you can join them for a discussion on potential spending in a little while. And also where you can enjoy the stars and explore space with West Bloomfield Parks and recognize those who have made great accomplishments in business in our local area with Oakland County's 40 Under 40. Plenty more of your stories from your hometown on your community media coming up. Stay with us. The Splash Live will continue after this break.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live. Want to enjoy Civic Center TV on your social media? Find us on Instagram at Civic Center TV. Get notified when we upload one of our interviews, full episodes, and more. Thank you for watching and listening to Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Find local municipal meetings at our program schedule on civiccentertv.com. Find when your meetings air live or when they're replaying on our Civic Center TV live stream. Find it all at civiccentertv.com and click schedule at the top of the screen. And now, back to The Splash, live.
Welcome back to The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. It's your stories from your hometown on your community media 5 days a week on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm Tyler Kieft alongside Dayan Chaaban, and thank you very much for joining us on our program today and every day. Again, you can join us Monday through Friday for all of our live shows for the latest news and updates from right here in your hometowns, West Bloomfield Township, Keego Harbor, Orchard Lake Village, Sylvan Lake, and even a little bit outside and throughout the Oakland County area. CivicCenterTV.com for more information on everywhere we're broadcasting every single day. And we'll give you updates on our programming schedule for next week as we approach the Thanksgiving holiday. Some days off, but usually 5 days a week right here on Civic Center TV. A really interesting event, earlier on this week with the West Bloomfield Police Department, partnering with the Bloomfield Township Police Department, several other local departments, and Mothers Against Drunk Driving at the M1 Concourse for a special event that was all focused on preventing drunk driving-related injuries and deaths. Many people speaking at this event about the dangers of drunk driving, about the harrows of drunk driving, taking horrific impacts on families all across our local area. We even heard from a familiar face to our team, Brooke Allen, who is the former host of The Splash Live, having talked at that event about her experiences with drunk driving related deaths. You just saw Karen McDonald, the Oakland County prosecutor, and other families also talking at that event. The West Bloomfield Police Department did a great job with a video about this. Calvin, do we have that video to present to people today? If not, it is on. Say that again, Calvin. We do. Okay, so we have that video for you. It's also on the West Bloomfield Police Department's Facebook page at facebook.com/West Bloomfield PD. They did a great job. Officer James Pettinato and their media team always do fantastic at these things. Let's take a look at their video as we hear from some of the speakers, including our good friend of the show, Brooke Allen.
As if what he had to drink at his family's bar prior to this incident was not enough for him. There's nothing, I mean nothing, is worth putting a family through the pains millions of families, including mine, have been put through because of one wrong decision.
I suffered a loss from a drunk driving crash back in 2004. My husband, George, was killed by a 19-year-old who was out partying with his friends.
She did very well in school. She had big dreams, big hopes. This picture here was taken 2 months before her accident, and that's the day she got her driver's license. I use this for everything that I do to support MAD and bring awareness to drinking and driving.
So many of these preventable injuries and deaths a big part of prevention is what happens in the district court when someone's charged actually with a misdemeanor.
Thank you so much for all that you do for your cities, your communities, and for being here to help bring awareness. Thank you.
By just identifying these, sometimes all it takes is a glance for somebody to make a better decision.
West Bloomfield Police Department with the video there. This event hosted by the Bloomfield Township Police Department, organized by the Bloomfield Police Department and hosted by the M1 Concourse. It was called Tie One On for Safety, where departments had tied ribbons onto their rear view mirrors or onto their other mirrors on their police squad car apparatus, as you're seeing here in the picture from the West Bloomfield Police Department, all towards supporting mothers against drunk driving and their efforts to educate the community on the dangers of drinking and driving. And Diana, a beautiful event, and unfortunately hearing so many sad stories, including from one of our former hosts, Brooke Allen, about their experiences with drunk drivers impacting their families. But really important to get this word out, especially this time of the year as families are getting together. And it was a fact that I learned many years ago that one of the biggest nights where it's a problem, where drunk driving is a problem out on our roads, is actually the night before Thanksgiving.
That is true, Tyler. It is so sad. We can go ahead and read the statistics all we want. We can go ahead and say that there are 37 people that get killed every single day in the United States because of drunk driving. But apart from the statistics, Tyler, these are people. These are not just numbers. These are people, as they mentioned in that event. These are people with dreams. They had hopes for their future. They were going places. They wanted to do a lot of stuff. They had family members who really still mourned their death. So every time you think about driving under the influence, just don't, because you don't want to do this. You don't know what might happen. You are practically impaired at this moment. You don't know where you're going. You don't know if you're going to hit somebody or not. So it's better to practice to do it the safe way. Try to go with that friend who is not drunk. Try to make sure that your teen son or teenage daughters and teenage children are not actually getting drunk. Make sure that they are going to safe places, and make sure that you empower your teenagers to say no to peer pressure, whether it's for drinking or getting drugs. So there's a lot that goes into it. And Tyler, if anybody wants to read more, of course, they can go into the Mothers Against Drunk Driving. They do provide a lot of tips, and they do provide a lot of helpful programs, and it's all for free. And it's very crucial, especially for mothers who do have teenage daughters and sons, or even for anyone. If you are out there, you are enjoying your holidays, make sure you do not drink under the influence. There's a lot of driving services, a lot of applications you can download to order a car if you are under an influence, and make sure that you do not let your teenage daughters drive them. If they are going to parties, make sure that you drive them there and bring them back, and again, empower them to saying no to other peer pressures. So it's very crucial. You don't want to be a victim of that, or do it to other people.
And a reminder that, of course, the legal drinking age is 21 years old, so teenagers should not be partaking in that. And if you are supervising or
Tyler,
are you the leader of that household where this is happening, you may be held liable. And just for some more statistics from the National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration, their latest data from 2021, there were 13,384 fatalities in alcohol-impaired motor vehicle traffic crashes. That accounts for 31% of all traffic fatalities in the United States during that year. And they want to remind you also, during Thanksgiving weekend that impaired driving or buzzed driving is considered drunk driving. So you don't necessarily need to be falling down drunk to be considered a drunk driver. If you are above the legal limit for alcohol during a breathalyzer test, 0.08, you will be pulled over and you will face severe charges for drinking and driving in our community. More information on how you can prevent drunk driving deaths can be found on facebook.com/NHSTA or by visiting the West Bloomfield Police Department's Facebook page at West Bloomfield PD. As we prepare for the colder months of the year, many families will be gathering around, especially this Thanksgiving holiday, by their fireplace. But you want to take some precautions. Of course, you're operating something that's using fire to warm your home and could come with a number of different hazards. The West Bloomfield Fire Department recently posting on their Facebook page a number of safety tips that may be helpful in preventing home fires or other related injuries or ailments as a result of your fireplace. Included in this is tips on how you can arrange your room around your fireplace, when to keep the doors to your fireplace open versus closed, and what you can and cannot burn or should and should not be burning in your fireplace, including what to do with the ashes after the fire has been put out and you're ready to close the fireplace for the evening. All important things to consider so that the fire doesn't go outside of that fireplace or doesn't start a bigger fire in that fireplace because the safety precautions aren't being taken. Some of the helpful tips for arranging a room include having a carbon monoxide detector near your fireplace, but not a smoke detector. Of course, you're near a fireplace. If your smoke detector is right above your fireplace, of course the smoke detector is going to go off. However, a carbon monoxide detector should be near the fireplace and in the room, because unlike a smoke detector, it won't cause false alarms being near your fireplace, especially if you have a gas fireplace. If that carbon monoxide alarm's going off, that could indicate a leak or some other issues with that gas-powered fireplace that could be lethal or at the very least very harmful to your family. You might need to call the fire department or other authorities in order to take a look at that for safety reasons. Always supervise your fire. I was a Boy Scout back in the day, and one of the first things we learned about tending to a fire is you have to tend to your fire. If you start that fire, it's your responsibility to be monitoring it and making sure that it is safe for everyone else nearby. That includes those in your home and those nearby. Fire spreads. Don't leave a fire unattended, because once you leave a fire unattended, it does as it pleases. Use licensed installers, both if you're installing a fireplace and especially if you're doing the prudent thing and having your fireplace checked and cleaned on an annual basis. And of course, using a safety gate, which can help keep kids and pets out of that fire if that fireplace doesn't have a formal door to close it. Diane, so many great pieces of advice in this graphic. It is posted on the West Bloomfield Fire Department's Facebook page. And you can find more information, facebook.com/WB Fire Department.
Tyler, as usual, the West Bloomfield Fire Department, they're always providing us with some safety tips. We remember a couple weeks ago they provided some information about how to maintain safe cooking, make sure that you're cooking, if there was a cooking fire, how to put it out, and make sure that everybody is safe. So, and they continue to provide us with more safety tips to prevent fires in our homes, and this is truly crucial, especially regarding the fireplace. Now that winter's coming, it's getting a lot more chillier. It's always, as usual, great tips. And Tyler, just to reiterate or repeat what you said, make sure that there's nothing nearby. Make sure that kids do not have access to this fireplace. Make sure that there is no flammable materials. And as we always talk about the importance of fire alarms and carbon monoxide detectors. These are very crucial. Make sure that your batteries are up to date and everything is functioning properly and well. So these are great tips, again, from the West Bloomfield Fire Department. And they can, Tyler, I know that they can also check the website, but they can also follow them on Facebook to check out all these wonderful graphics and all the tips they provide.
Yeah, again, that Facebook page is at WB Fire Department for more information and tips like this, including other tips, including those that Diane had mentioned. We've spoken about as well about kitchen safety during this season. All good advice from the West Bloomfield Fire Department. We'll take a break on the Splash Live. On the other side, a lot of questions we've been getting this week about whether or not the West Bloomfield Lakers football game will be broadcast. We'll answer those questions for you. The answer is yes. We'll tell you where you can find that football game on Saturday. It's the Lakers battle for a chance at playing in the state championship game, plus a heartwarming story between Oakland Early College and Roosevelt Elementary School. Stay with us. More of your stories from your hometown on your community media up next on the Splash Live.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live. This is Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. On cable and the radio. On the web too, and on social media. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home. Your West Bloomfield Lakers football team is playoffs. Join us for live coverage of all postseason on the West Bloomfield School District's TV channel, WBTV, Comcast Channel 19, and AT&T Channel 99. All offseason, all Lakers, all the way to Ford Field. Laker playoff football exclusively on WBTV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. 2 milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable.
The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kids should know.
Want to enjoy Civic Center TV on your social media? Follow us on Twitter at Civic Center TV. Get notified when we upload one of our interviews, full episodes, and more. Thank you for watching and listening to Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. And now, back to the Splash Live.
Welcome back to the Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. It's your stories from your hometown on your community media, the best place to go for the latest news and information right here in West Bloomfield Township, Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and Orchard Lake Village is Civic Center TV and the Splash Live. More information and find all of our shows every single day, live and on demand on civiccentertv.com, on our Facebook page at Civic Center TV 15, and on YouTube at Civic Center TV. The West Bloomfield Lakers varsity football team has had a fantastic season, both the regular season and these first several playoff games, with wins against division rivals like Rochester Adams and Clarkston last week, as well as other opponents like Utica Eisenhower, and another familiar foe coming up on Saturday at Troy High School as the Lakers take on the Southfield A&T Warriors for a chance at the MHSAA Division I State Championship game at Ford Field on Thanksgiving weekend. The Lakers are coming off of an astounding 21-20 victory last week at home, a come-from-behind victory against the Clarkston Wolves, and now they got to go up against a team that they have beaten already once this season, but kind of surprised them back in week number 8 in their 31-20 victory over Southfield A&T. It's the only loss the Warriors have on the entire season. They had won 7 straight games before that. They have played excellent football in the last several weeks since they've seen West Bloomfield, and they're coming back hungry in what is considered a rivalry game between both of these schools and both of these sets of players, many of whom have grown up either playing football together on many of their Little League or Pee Wee football teams, and have played against each other for a number of years. So some internal rivalries between those two teams, and some rivalries, of course, between those two programs, both looking for a state championship. In the case of Southfield A&T, looking for their very first as the Southfield A&T High School, and West Bloomfield looking for their second state championship after a few years of a break between, of course, the Ron Bellamy, Donovan Edwards, Dylan Tatum, Makari Page year, where they took home the hardware at Ford Field. The state semifinal, not tonight, but on Saturday, 1 o'clock p.m. at Troy High School. We will have a live broadcast of that game for you. Unfortunately, due to MHSAA exclusivity deals, we are not able to broadcast that on television, so we won't have a video broadcast for you, but we will have your radio call, much like we did a couple weeks back at Utica Eisenhower on 89.3 Lakes FM, and we will live stream that audio also on our TV channels on Civic Center TV and WBTV, as well as on Facebook and on YouTube. So no matter where you're going with our outlets, you'll be able to tune in and listen to the state semifinal game on Saturday between the West Bloomfield Lakers and Southfield A&T. Our coverage will begin at about 20 after, maybe 12:30 on Saturday with This Week in Laker Football, then a brief Laker pregame show with Matt Catoni and I before we ultimately get to Laker football at 1 o'clock between the West Bloomfield Lakers and the Southfield A&T Warriors. The winner of this game goes to Ford Field on the Sunday after Thanksgiving in prime time for all the marbles. Tickets are on sale right now. Parking will be cash only charged parking, $5 per vehicle, so you may want to carpool to this game. And a reminder, there will be extra security and police presence at this game. Nobody that, unless authorized, is allowed on the turf field. Fans have to stay in the stands, and spectators are able to meet up with the players after the game, however, not on the football field proper, outside of the fences as the players leave the field. More information can be found on WBSD.org about the West Bloomfield Lakers football team and tickets to this game. Oakland Early College and their students in their Focus 11-12 class started a really interesting effort recently, becoming pen pals with Roosevelt Elementary School students, and even adding an extra little artistic flair to it, decorating their letters that they're sending off to Roosevelt School all throughout this fall season. Those art materials, courtesy of the West Bloomfield Education Foundation and Dayan, a great way for some of the older students to communicate with younger students in the district and become sort of mentors and friends as they get older and older and go through the ranks.
That's actually very sweet. It gives these younger students some motivation to go into their future, into the other levels in the West Bloomfield district. It's great that they're connecting all the West Bloomfield district and all these students together, showing them that you can be, this is how you can be and how you can get better, and just the connection, Tyler, the networking. It's just very, very sweet and very heartwarming. A great initiative by the district, as usual.
Yeah, we had something similar to this program when I was in elementary school. However, it was within the elementary school. This is kind of across that district, but it fits within the West Bloomfield School District's vision for the future and how they communicate between schools. They've recently gone under a rebranding effort to unify every school together as Lakers from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade and beyond. Of course, Oakland Early College featuring 11th and 12th grade students, as well as those that have gotten their high school diploma but are going to do an extra year to get some college level credits under their belt as well within the West Bloomfield School District. So really getting a chance to communicate between kids at all levels of education in the West Bloomfield School District, and a great effort. Hopefully we'll see more of this between other schools in the district in the near future, with Oakland Early College's Focus 11-12 students well underway and sending friendly letters to kids at Roosevelt Elementary School. We'll take a break on The Splash Live. Plenty more of your stories from your hometown on your community media. After that break, we'll talk to Curt Lawson from the West Bloomfield Police Department. Stay with us. The Splash Live continues next.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live. Find local municipal meetings at our program schedule on CivicCenterTV.com. Find when your meetings air live or when they're replaying on our Civic Center TV live stream. Find it all at CivicCenterTV.com and click Schedule at the top of the screen.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Take a break and tune in to The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Join Tyler Kieft and Dayan Chaaban as they go through headlines, events, and update you on the day-to-day in Oakland County. Catch us live weekdays 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Watch us on demand at CivicCenterTV.com. Or watch us on TV at Comcast Channel 15 or AT&T at Channel 99. Want to enjoy Civic Center TV on your social media? Find us on Instagram at Civic Center TV. Get notified when we upload one of our interviews, full episodes, and more. Thank you for watching and listening to Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. And now, back to The Splash, live.
Welcome back to The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. It's your stories from your hometown on your community media 5 days a week. I'm Tyler Kieft alongside Dayan Chaaban, and thank you for joining us on Civic Center TV, on our Facebook page at Civic Center TV 15, on YouTube at Civic Center TV, and of course always live and on demand on our website on civiccentertv.com. Some news out of the West Bloomfield Police Department, as it was announced earlier on this week by Steve Kaplan at the West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation Commission meeting that Deputy Police Chief Curt Lawson will be retiring effective January 2nd, 2024, and departing for a new job in the nearby in the village of Franklin and Bingham Farms. At last night's Parks and Recreation meeting, Steve Kaplan had great praise for Deputy Chief Lawson on his nearly 20 years of service and what it means to see one of our leaders in our police department move on to another job nearby in our community. Let's take a look at what Steve had to say.
I think the fact that another police agency has hired one of our command officers to be that agency's police chief speaks highly for the township. It shows that we have high quality people serving in law enforcement.
Deputy Chief Lawson departing in January for the village of Franklin and Bingham Farms' police department. Joining us now on the program is Deputy Police Chief Curt Lawson to talk about this transition in his career. Deputy Chief, first of all, congratulations on your impending retirement and your transition in your career. And of course, for nearly 20 years at the West Bloomfield Police Department, thank you for joining us today.
Well, thank you very much. And shockingly, it's been 29 years, so it goes that quickly. And I've been so fortunate here in West Bloomfield. I actually started off in 1994 as a police cadet and had great opportunities to do pretty much every position within the police department, ended up rising up through the ranks and became deputy chief in 2015. And I've certainly enjoyed the ride, but it's become time to give others a chance. We have such an amazing command staff here. They're so talented, and you really sometimes have to get out of the way and let them blossom. And that's what I'm going to do. And I'm so looking forward to my opportunity at Bingham Farms in Franklin.
We congratulate you on joining the Bingham Farms and Franklin Police Department. Been with the West Bloomfield Police Department since 1994. I'm a TV host, not a mathematician. Got just a little bit off on that. 1994, you began in the department, of course, became deputy chief in 2015, and a lot has changed in the years since you, A, have joined the police department, but B, since you've been the deputy chief. What are you most proud of in terms of the way the police department has changed, both its approach to law enforcement and how others have joined and grown in their ranks in the police department in your time with West Bloomfield?
Well, I think what I'm most proud of is, as we've seen law enforcement, the profession itself, have its ups and downs, the community has always supported us. And I think that's because our men and women are out there every day understanding the importance of having a relationship, a positive relationship with the community. This is one of the most diverse communities in Michigan. And we have a very high approval rating of not only our police department, but our fire department. And, your hat's got to go off to the men and women that are out there every day making that happen, understanding the importance of that customer service and professionalism. No matter how difficult the circumstances is, our people do that day in and day out, and I'm very proud of that.
And moving on to the village of Franklin and Bingham Farms, it's very nearby to West Bloomfield, and much like in our fire services, the police services also partner very much with one another in the nearby area. And so being that you're going to be that close to West Bloomfield, how did that factor into your decision to move on to the village of Franklin and Bingham Farms, knowing the local area and having that knowledge?
I had several opportunities that came up, and that was really the one that I was focused on. Again, they do something very similar that we see here at the West Bloomfield Police Department. They have that relationship with their community. Their community supports them. That's very important to me. If you want to have a successful police department, you've got to have that community support. And they've been very welcoming to me. They're very excited that I'll make that transition over to Franklin Bingham Farms. So their arms have been out, very welcoming, and I'm super excited for the opportunity to continue to move that department down the road in a positive way.
And you mentioned some of the similar efforts they're making to West Bloomfield and your hopes to move that department forward. What are some of your hopes going forward as you transition into that job and in that department to advance that department forward, much like you've been able to do alongside Chief Patton and the other great leadership we've had in the police department over your years with us in West Bloomfield?
Well, I think my first few months that I'm going to be there, I'm basically in the role of being a listener. I want to listen to not only the team members within the police department, but the council members. I report to two different councils, both Bingham Farms and Franklin, and obviously listen to the community members themselves to see what we're really doing well and what areas we need to improve on, and then use a team concept with my team to make those improvements. I've never been a believer in a one-person show. I think I need a collaborative team effort to move the ball forward, and that's my plan. The chief that I'm replacing, Chief Dan Roberts in Franklin, has an amazing career. He was in charge of multiple major operations at the FBI. He was the special agent in charge of Detroit before he went to Franklin Bingham Farms. So I have some pretty big shoes that I'm going to have to fill there.
And certainly the best person to fill those shoes in this case. Curt Lawson with us on the Splash Live, Deputy Police Chief with the West Bloomfield Police Department, still on the job for a little while longer. His retirement effective January 2nd of 2024 before he will become the Chief of Police for the Village of Franklin and Bingham Farms' Police Department in 2024. You mentioned collaboration being a huge part of the police work you do. And earlier on, you had given your praises to the leadership coming up in the West Bloomfield Police Department, and that is already in place in the West Bloomfield Police Department. And so as you move on and as the police department in our local area moves on, and we think about policing in a different light today than we did several years ago or certainly at the beginning of your career, what do you believe makes for a great leader in a police department?
I look at a great leader that's going to ask people where they want to go in their careers, and then you try to help them get there. That you give the parameters in which they operate, and then you set them free, understanding that the leader himself is always the person that's responsible for whatever the result is. But individuals are going to make mistakes. They're learning, and that's the best way to learn. So you obviously don't want them to make big mistakes where it's a liability to the organization and the township or the village that you're working. But you really got to set those individuals free so they can blossom and achieve their potential. So I think if you have a leader that is able to listen, that's able to have that two-way communication with the staff, with the community, you're going to have a pretty effective leader.
Curt, you've been with the police department in West Bloomfield for 29 years, beginning your career in 1994. And as you depart for Franklin and Bingham Farms, and you look back on your career with West Bloomfield and the impact you've made on this department and that the department's made in our community, do you believe that you've left this department or you're leaving this department better than you found it?
I think that's always your goal, is you want to leave something better than you found it. And I think I've been able to do that more through my community outreach than anything else. I've been very involved in a lot of nonprofit groups, Clearsy Association over the years. I try to make as many community events as I can, and I developed a lot of relationships that I think will go on well beyond my career here at West Bloomfield. So I'm pretty proud of that. I'm not going to take any credit for anything that's happened within this police department. I give that credit to the men and women that are out there doing the job every day. Their job is much more difficult than my job sitting in my new cozy office. So it's all about them, really.
And it's been a collaborative effort over those years. And we've seen not only you be out in the community, but your officers and your sergeants and your lieutenants and the police chief also. So it really is that culture in the West Bloomfield Police Department, to be out and about and involved in the community. As you said, community policing, so important, especially nowadays, given the circumstances of the past several years. And the changes we've seen have been necessary for police work in our community and beyond. Curt, anything else you'd like to say about your 29 years with West Bloomfield and your plans going forward as you move on to Franklin and Bingham Farms?
Well, it's been pretty emotional, actually. I wasn't expecting. I've had so much support internally from the number of officers, civilian staff that have called me, texted me, emailed me, came into my office. Many of them telling me that they're sad that I'm leaving. And that just means a lot. After 29 years, you kind of put your heart and soul into something. And the last thing that I can put my fingerprint on with my team here, I have a small team that's remodeling the police station. We're very proud of that. And then I'll be sailing off into the sunset and giving someone else an opportunity to blossom in this role.
As one door closes, another one opens for the West Bloomfield Police Department, and as well for you, Curt Lawson, as you move on to become the Chief of Police in Franklin and in Bingham Farms. Congratulations once again. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Tyler, and I've enjoyed working with all of you over the years, so thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Truly have been a friend of our show here on the Splash Live and our team at Civic Center TV, and we wish you the best going forward. Curt Lawson on the show with us today will be departing the West Bloomfield Police Department and retiring on January 2nd, 2024, before he becomes the Chief of Police in the village of Franklin and Bingham Farms. So he'll still be out and about on the job in the community, doing that community police work that you've seen him do over the last 29 years for a little while longer. While you're out and about, give him the congratulations, and congratulate the West Bloomfield Police Department, too, on its transition moving forward and its change in leadership as it continues to evolve and adapt and move forward. We'll take a break on the Splash Live. Plenty more of your stories from your hometown on your community media coming up next.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live. This is Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. On cable and the radio. On the web too, and on social media. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Your West Bloomfield Lakers football team is back in the playoffs. Join us for live coverage of all postseason on the West Bloomfield School District's WBTV, Comcast Channel 19, and AT&T Channel 99. All offseason Lakers all the way to Ford Field. Laker playoff football exclusively on WBTV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Missed one of our live broadcasts or one of your local municipal meetings? Check it out online at civiccentertv.com. Every meeting, show, and interview on demand. Thank you for watching and listening to Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. And now, back to the Splash Live.
Welcome back to the Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. It's your stories from your hometown on your community media. 5 days a week, Monday through Friday on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm Tyler Kieft alongside Dayan Chaaban. The best way to keep up to date with everything happening in the Greater West Bloomfield community and with our programming when we're not live on the air is to join us on our Facebook page at Civic Center TV 15. Like and follow in order to get our programming and our announcements in your Facebook feed, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Civic Center TV. If you hit the subscribe button and you hit the bell icon on our YouTube page, you'll get a notification when we go live with the Splash Live or other special programming. Recently, we've been live with the Heroes Appreciation Breakfast for Veterans Day in the past. Of course, Michigan Week Awards, we go live for that, State of the Communities, and other events coming up all throughout the year. Stay with us and always up to date by subscribing for free to our YouTube channel at Civic Center TV. Support your local TV station as you also support your local small businesses on this upcoming Small Business Saturday. That's the Saturday after Thanksgiving. Of course, you have the Thanksgiving holiday. A lot of people go out on Friday, the day after, on what's called Black Friday to get a bunch of really great deals at big box stores and even some small businesses. And then Saturday is that day that's really dedicated to focusing on shopping small and shopping local with companies and businesses that you know right here in our local community. And a great place to do that is at the Orchard Mall, who reminded you of this on their Facebook page at Orchard Mall. Small Business Saturday, November 25th at the Orchard Mall. And they have a number of different stores all throughout their directory and a number of different areas and disciplines. They have a toy store if you're looking for some really cool toys with for your kids at Toyology Toys. Right next door to that is a Premier Pet Supply, which is a locally owned pet supply store with locations all throughout Oakland County, including here in West Bloomfield, plus other specialty shops, locally owned restaurants, and more, all of which you can find online at orchardmallwb.com. And Dayan, this time of the year, it's really important for these companies as they come toward the end of the year and they organize their finances for 2024, and especially as they're competing with big box stores all year round, and especially during the holiday season. You know, you shop locally, maybe those deals aren't going to be as great as they would be at the big box store down the road, but the extra money you're spending, those few extra dollars, they go back into the community as these small businesses who are sponsoring our Little League team, who are sponsoring or co-sponsoring our events with West Bloomfield Parks and the school district and so on, to put on all this fun stuff happening all throughout the community all year long, and supporting organizations that help our kids, help our environment, help our local organizations. And so really important for people to, as they're exploring shopping this holiday season, as they're maybe going out and about to stores this holiday weekend next week for Thanksgiving, that they focus also on shopping local right here in the greater West Bloomfield area.
Tyler, these small businesses and local stores, I'm not even going to say small businesses because some of these stores are really big, and I'm going to just mention a few examples because I'm a consumer of one of these stores in particular. But these local businesses are the backbone of our economy. Your money goes directly into that economy. You're providing more jobs for people within your community. So this is a great chance for all of us together collectively to get to contribute back to our community, because again, our children live here, so you're also providing opportunities for your children, for us as people. So it's a great way to support our local economy and our local community. One other thing I must mention, Tyler, is that yes, we can get a lot of offerings in those big box stores. They may be cheaper, but they're not as unique as these small local businesses. And I'll tell you just one example. I'm a consumer of Premier Pet Supply, and the things I find there are truly some stuff that you can never find at PetSmart. They do make these handmade treats for dogs and cats. It's truly some stuff that you cannot find at these big box stores. There's some special made foods, some special toys, and they're also not as expensive. I mean, we do know that they might be more expensive than bigger stores, but they're not as expensive as we think. And again, there's so many unique offerings in there. Whether you're going into a clothing store, you're not buying some shirt that you can find your other friend is wearing as well. So it's a great opportunity for us not only to support our local business, but also to indulge ourselves in some unique experiences and unique shopping experiences.
Yeah, and whether you're going shopping or going out and eating at restaurants, you know, instead of going to those big corporate chains that are easy to find and all throughout the community, you can go, you know, eat local in Sylvan Lake at the Sylvan Table, or in Kego at Gino's, or if you're going to go out and have a few drinks with friends, you can go to Brew House or Mary Donnelly's in Kego Harbor, or you know, out to any of the restaurants up on Orchard Lake Road that are locally owned, and maybe they have multiple locations throughout the community, but you know that money you're spending is going right back to help people working in our community that are operating businesses in our community and are supporting community events. A great resource to find more information on shopping local, whether it's at the Orchard Mall or it's at other locations throughout the greater West Bloomfield area, is westbloomfieldchamber.com. If you scroll over their West Bloomfield Chamber tab on their homepage, there's a chamber member directory that has a list of many locally owned businesses, both in greater West Bloomfield proper as well as in the Lakes area and nearby, in a number of different disciplines, a number of different areas. So whether you're looking to do some shopping or you're looking for some collaboration in business, there's great opportunities there as well. westbloomfieldchamber.com. And if you call the chamber at 248-626-3636, Suzanne Levine, the executive director, and their team are always willing to help direct you in the right direction for small businesses you can support this holiday season. While you're out and about supporting those small businesses, hey, maybe win some cash yourself to help support that holiday shopping and shopping local through Oakland County's Advantage Oakland Local Gems contest. That is running now through Small Business Saturday on November 25th. The first place prize is $1,000 cash. Second prize, $500. Third prize, $250. And all you need is one of these bad boys and go into your local favorite store in the Oakland County area. Hey, right here in the greater West Bloomfield area. You snap a selfie and you attach that with some other information like your name and your email address and such to oakgov.com/shop-small, and you'll enter their local gems contest. They'll choose their 3 favorite pictures from throughout our community. So get creative, get involved with it, put some effort into your post and into your prompt when you submit at oakgov.com/shop-small, and you could win big this holiday season. Keep in mind the photo has to be original and you have to be the one in the selfie, and it's got to be at a small business defined by these sweepstakes as, quote, an independently owned and operated legal brick and mortar business. Again, more information can be found on oakgov.com/shop-small. We'll take a short break on the Splash Live. More of your stories from your hometown on your community media coming up after this.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live. Find local municipal meetings at our program schedule on CivicCenterTV.com. Find when your meetings air live or when they're replaying on our Civic Center TV live stream. Find it all at CivicCenterTV.com and click Schedule at the top of the screen.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. On cable and the radio. On the web too, and on social media. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home. And now, back to the Splash Live.
Welcome back to the Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. It's your stories from your hometown on your community media 5 days a week on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm Tyler Kieft alongside Dayan Chaaban. There's an opportunity for you to give your input to the West Bloomfield School District early on next week, as the school district has received some funding through 3-1-AA grants and want your input on how to spend some of that money in our local community. On Monday, November 20th, at at 5 p.m. at the ACS building, the administrative building for the West Bloomfield School District, in their main conference room. They'll be having a community input session to determine how to best spend state funding provided to the schools for mental health support and safety initiatives over the period of time they'll be receiving this grant funding. They're looking for community input from you, the families, from parents, from students, and from staff in the school district. And so if you're interested in providing some input on how this mental health related grant funding can best be spent in West Bloomfield, join them Monday, November 20th at the ACS building in their meeting room. More information you can get from Johanna Maracna at johanna.maracna@wbsd.org. That is JOHANNA@WBSD.org. And more information can also be found on their Facebook page, facebook.com/WB Schools and West Bloomfield Schools. And Dayan, really important that families provide their input on this, as it does relate to our mental health in our schools, something that many of our local schools, including West Bloomfield's school district, are putting a much greater effort into in recent times.
That is true, Tyler. It is very important that families and teachers and everybody in the community that has a child in the West Bloomfield School District or working at the West Bloomfield School District, they should provide their input on this very crucial topic, especially given all the tragic events that had happened over the past few years and after. And we do know that there has been a lot of mental health issues, whether it's for students or for the teachers after post-pandemic. So it did cause a lot of stress and anxiety and social isolation. So it is a great way to voice your opinion on that matter and help the West Bloomfield District perform better and ensure the safety of your children and their mental health going forward.
And again, that's going to be on Monday at the ACS building at 5 p.m. So it's before the school board meeting at the ACS building. School board, of course, is going to be at West Bloomfield High School in the I Center, but you can find more information on their website at wbsd.org. On their Facebook page also, you can find more information. Facebook.com/West Bloomfield Schools. And again, that meeting Monday, 5 o'clock at the ACS building in West Bloomfield. That's on Pontiac Trail, just at the corner of Commerce. In West Bloomfield Parks, you can see the stars and explore outer space this weekend on Saturday at their astronomy hike, Saturday, November 18th at the Recreation Activity Center from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. As they posted on their Facebook page, quote, "Experience the trails after dark on a naturalist-led hike. The Oakland Astronomy Club will bring telescopes for viewing Saturn, Jupiter, and the Andromeda Galaxy, and more. Of course, weather permitting. The good news, it's going to be clear and sunny during the day on both Saturday and on Sunday, and it's supposed to be clear in the night as well. So it should be a perfect weekend to explore the stars in the greater West Bloomfield community. The walk is about 1 mile at a moderate pace and moderate difficulty, so those of all ages are invited. You can register to attend the event now at wbparks.org. And Dayan, another really interesting way to explore part of our community over the weekend under the stars in West Bloomfield.
That is true, Tyler. I truly love the West Bloomfield Parks events. They do a lot of nature walks, whether it's at night. We've seen some camping events. Truly a lot of incredible events, especially for people who love the outdoors just as I do. And I'm hoping I can join them. I'm hoping I can free myself up this Saturday night and join them. And this beautiful, clear night, again, as you said, Tyler, it's going to be clear, it's going to be beautiful, and a great scene, a great star-seeing scene. So it's incredible, and you'll be out there with your community members also enjoying this. So get your blankies, get your telescopes, and enjoy it as much as you can.
Now you're competing for spots with Dayan Chaaban. wbparks.org. Still time to register for this astronomy hike on Saturday. For those in the business community, it's great to recognize those that are making big accomplishments both in the greater West Bloomfield area and throughout Oakland County. You have the chance to do so for the 2024 edition of Oakland County's 40 Under 40. Submissions are now open through 11:59 p.m. on Tuesday, December 12th at oakgov.com/40 under 40. The award program seeks individuals ages 40 or under who embody the county's vision of, quote, always moving forward, end quote. Essential service to the community, creative innovation, high achievement in their professional fields are among some of the things that they're looking for in a perfect 40 under 40 candidate. We had several from the greater West Bloomfield area last year, including Vincent Kirkwood, as we mentioned, West Bloomfield Parks, one of their commissioners, being on the 40 under 40 list. Who will be next in the greater West Bloomfield community? You can determine that on oakgov.com/40 under 40. Plenty more of your stories from your hometown on your community media each and every week. Stay with us. The Splash Live will continue very soon.